Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Pixelmon, your instructional Pixelmon guide. Now as you can see here, today we're going to be going over Heracross. Now Heracross has always been one of my favorite bug Pokemon since Gen 2. As you guys probably have heard before, I really haven't played a lot of the newer gens, so this guy was definitely, pretty high up on my list. Oh, look at them, they like each other. Well, I'm going to delete you two into the PC pretty soon, so get used to it. They didn't like hearing that. But anyway, we have Heracross here. Now, of course, we got the really nice, magenta looking shiny, some solid colors. I really do like the solid colored shinies. So that's a pretty good one. But I know that's not what you guys are here about today. You don't want to look at them all day. You want to hear, how can we make this thing be all the other things? And we're about to do that right about now. So, Heracross, you're looking at his stats right now. He has, some decent defensive stats actually. He has really good attack, decent speed, and no special attack. I love this move pool, or this stat pool, just because you never have to worry about special attack because he's terrible at it anyway. All the stats go into stuff he needs. If he had a little bit more speed, it would be more ideal, but at least he might be able to tank a hit with these kinds of stats and of course deal a lot of damage. Now, natures you're gonna want to look for are mostly the attack and speed natures. In the builds I'm going to talk about today, you actually want to go for speed natures. A jolly nature would be the best that you can go for. And when it comes to abilities, you're going to want the guts nature, because that means if anyone tries to, paralyze you or do anything negative to you, it'll just make you even stronger when it comes to your attacks, and it's really quite terrifying for your opponent. But let's look at some of the moves these guys can learn. So this one right here, I wasn't able to get a guts on it, I don't think, but we have the moves that it can learn naturally, which is a pretty solid moveset. If you catch them in the wild, they have a chance at learning Night Slash, which is a really good dark move. It has a good chance of crit, and with the damage on a Heracross, it'll do very, very well. Now, of course, you can learn Aerial Ace, Megahorn, and Close Combat. Megahorn and Close Combat are your two big stab moves, and they are big moves entirely. Both do a ton of damage. A little bit of a accuracy deficit on Megahorn, but Close Combat also has that defense negative to it. So they're both just really good moves. You're definitely always going to want to have these on a Heracross set. And there's not a million ways to build a Heracross. Now when it comes to putting some TMs on him, you got the standard really strong physical attackers. You can give him an Earthquake. Oh, that's not even the one I wanted to show you yet. You can give him an Earthquake if you already have plenty of dark moves on your team, and really you don't need a lot of dark on a Heracross just because you already got Bug to counter the, Psychic type, and, that's, half of it covered. And then we got Earthquake, which will be good because Earthquake can help counter some of those rock types that will come out trying to squish you. But, you also want to have the rock type to counter the flying that'll come to get you. Because flying is 4 times effective against Heracross. So having a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide on him is always going to be worth it. The thing about Heracross is he does have defensive stats, but because he's a bug fighting type, he has his weaknesses, and he has a lot of them. He is really weak to, the flying types, and also, fire, psychic, get him. So it's pretty bad when it comes to that, but it's not as bad as it could be. He can still tank a hit from most types of Pokemon. It's just he's vulnerable, against a few. So you can set him up however you want, but I definitely advise that speed and physical attack. So that's how we're going to aim for things, but there's also another way to do it. Now, of course, with that kind of build, you want to go for a Choice Scarf or a Choice Band. I'd probably prefer the Choice Scarf because, once again, Heracross's speed isn't amazing, but you can build it good enough to be a, physical sweeper. But the other way to set him up, you're going to want to use a Life Orb on him because you don't want him stuck in his moves. And this is a Substitute Swords Dance combo. Now, this will of course make you able to Swords Dance, doubling Heracross's attack several times, making him pretty much being able to one-shot everything. The only downside of this is, well, Close Combat and Megahorn, they might still not do a lot of damage to like a flying type that comes out on you, so you do have your weaknesses when it comes to this. And, having a substitute coupled with a Life Orb might not be the best. Maybe you can put a Leftovers on him if you want to, have him live a little bit longer. Otherwise, he just won't be able to be much of a sweeper. And, of course, it comes back to, he just has his weaknesses. So Heracross can potentially be one-shot by a good flying type, so people can switch out to that. But once you get Swords Dances in, he's going to crush just about anything. And he's also a little slow, so if someone sends out a faster Pokemon, they could get you with a status move or just kill you. So this isn't the moveset I prefer, but if you want to do a Heracross that will potentially sweep through someone's team, this is the way to do it. I definitely prefer just setting up a normal Heracross with probably a Choice Scarf and as many strong moves as I can. I mean, looking at this moveset, all the power is over 100 on these moves. He has great attack. 2 of these are stabs. This is just a very, very solid moveset. He has counters on it. And, he'll just crush things in his path. But I think that's all we have to say about Heracross. Hopefully this will convince you to either get one or change the way you're using one. A very strong Pokemon. It's not really, going to sweep through an entire team in most scenarios, but it'll definitely, put out plenty of damage. I don't think you'll be too upset about him. You need a bug type. This is a great physical one to go towards. But thank you guys for watching this episode of How to Pixelmon. If you did enjoy it, how about you leave a like on the episode? That always is appreciated. We will have more of these coming in the future. But until then, I'll see you next time. What I'm doing right now? We're just doing some weird stuff. So of course we got the sponges, rare candies, and lucky blocks here. Nothing's sitting in there. So we're gonna go in here and see what we have gotten. Oh, and I did actually organize it, but we've made some sales since I've organized it, apparently.